Want to learn how to invest, but feel completely overwhelmed by all the confusing jargon, complicated strategies, and people telling you to analyze stock charts like it's your full-time job? Like you know you need to invest, but every time you try to research it, you end up more confused than when you started? Here's the thing. Investing doesn't have to be complicated, and you definitely don't need to become a day trader to make your money grow. This video is going to show you simple, proven strategies that work for normal people who have other things to do with their lives. My savings account earns 0.6% interest, while inflation runs at about 2.7%. So my money is literally losing buying power just sitting there. It's like having a leaky bucket. But the stock market has averaged about 10% returns over the long term. Not every year, but over time. So the choice is, let inflation slowly eat your money, or put it to work and actually grow it. I know which one sounds better to me. But how do you actually do this without getting overwhelmed? Well, the first thing you need to understand is that when it comes to investing, time isn't about picking the perfect day to start. It's about how much time you give your money to grow. Okay, so why does time matter so much? This will blow your mind. Invest $200 monthly starting at 25. By 65, you'll have about $1.4 million. Start at 35 instead? You'll have $540,000, same monthly amount, but starting 10 years earlier nets you almost $1 million more. Time in the market beats everything. How much you invest, picking the right stocks, market timing. Why? Because your money makes money, then that money makes money. It's exponential growth at work. But here's the thing. You don't need to get lucky by picking amazing stocks. You can do something way smarter. Here's why you should stop trying to pick stocks. You know those people trying to pick individual stocks? Most fail, including professionals. Instead of gambling on which companies will win, buy them all through index funds. I learned this the hard way. Back in college, I thought I was so smart picking individual stocks. I bought Netflix at $80. Great. But I also bought GameStop at $180 thinking it was going to the moon. Yeah, that didn't age well. Meanwhile, my boring S&P 500 index fund just kept quietly growing through all my genius stock picks. Index funds own tiny pieces of hundreds or thousands of companies. When the market does well, you do well. When one company tanks, who cares? You own 500 others. It's like buying the entire ice cream shop instead of guessing which flavor will be popular. So now you're probably wondering, which index funds should you actually buy? Here's what financial advisors recommend. 70% total stock market index fund. 20% International Stock Index Fund, 10% Bond Index Fund. You're now diversified across thousands of companies worldwide. Now I know what you're thinking. That still sounds like work. Isn't there something even simpler? Yes, there is. Get a target date fund. Pick your retirement year, say 2060, and it automatically adjusts as you age. Set up automatic investing and forget about it for 10 years. Which brings us to the practical question everyone asks. How much money are we talking? Start with whatever you can afford. $50 monthly is infinitely better than zero. I began with $100 because that's what I had, but it got me started and comfortable. My coworker Emma was convinced she needed $500 a month to make investing worth it. She spent 2 years waiting to start until she could afford that amount. Meanwhile, if she just started with $75 a month, she'd already have a nice little nest egg growing instead of nothing. Here's the strategy that takes all the stress out of timing the marketing. It's called dollar cost averaging. Just invest the same amount every month, no matter what the market is doing. Some months you'll buy when prices are high, other months when they're low. But over time, it all averages out. Think about it like grocery shopping. You don't sit around waiting for the perfect day when every single item is cheapest, right? You just go when you need groceries. Same thing here. This steady approach also helps when we get to what everyone's really worried about. But what if I lose money? You probably will, temporarily. I've watched my account drop plenty of times. Start small if you're nervous. Invest $50 monthly for 6 months to see how it feels. Once you realize a 5% drop doesn't end the world, you can invest more. In 2008, stocks lost 40%. Scary? Sure. But if you held on and kept investing, you made everything back and more. The people who lost money panicked and sold at the worst time. Here's what actually happened to my dad during that crash. He watched his retirement account drop by about $80,000. It was terrifying. But he kept making his monthly contributions, and by 2012, his account was higher than it had ever been before the crash. The people at his work who panic sold in 2009, they locked in those losses and missed the recovery. Markets go down temporarily, but zoom out long term and it's basically always up and to the right. All right, so now you know the why and the what. Time matters. Index funds beat stock picking. Target date funds make it simple, and market crashes are temporary. But knowing and doing are two different things. Let's get you actually started. Here's your homework this week. Open an investment account. Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab. Just pick one. Start with a target date fund for your retirement year. Set up automatic investing with whatever you can afford. Use a compound interest calculator to see your potential growth. So you're saving, budgeting, and now investing. Next week, we're covering retirement planning. And no, you shouldn't wait until 50 to think about it. So we covered the essentials. Time beats everything. Index funds beat stock picking. Target date funds keep it simple. And market crashes are temporary. Start with what you can afford. Don't panic when things go down. And let compound interest do the work. What now? Open that account, pick your fund, and automate it. Next week, we're talking retirement planning. Then you'll have everything you need to build a strong financial foundation. If this helped you out, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more.